so let's get into it. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner of Nightshade in the blue. For Brave Star Gaming, it is Dream. And his opponent in the lower left-hand corner, the lower right-hand corner. I was just testing you guys. It is Raise Your Edge Gaming's Zest. Runner-up at I Am Katowice. Easily one of the best Protoss players to ever Protoss. Going up against Dream. Dream's got to prove himself. You know, about 6 months ago, he was looking real good. He was really up and coming. You know, he was coming up. All of a sudden, he was taking games off of some of the best players, taking series off some of the best players. He was winning Alima Leagues. And they did an in-depth. Artosis and No Regret did an in-depth about him. And it was like, ooh, damn, Dream, he's going to be the guy. He's going to be the guy. And it just feels like he hasn't been the guy. You know, he hasn't improved since then. It feels like he hit this spot where he could take games off of the best players, but never really got to the point where he was one of the best players. So I think he has a lot to prove this year in 2020 as to how good of a Terran he's going to be, you know? As we're watching in Super Tournament, the top Terrans are really showing themselves. They're showing what they have. They're showing what they can bring to the table. And I think some of these kind of second level guys really need to be able to do the same. Somebody like Dream needs to show that he can be up there with the best Terrans, because he hasn't quite shown it yet. But I think he's very close. I think he's very close. And he's got some really interesting strategies that I hope we get to see brought out here. On the other side of things, Zest. Well, he is best. He's one of those kind of classically good Korean players. Is something we see a lot with Korean players, is like they just have amazing mechanics and fantastic micro, and they make some really they're very like decisive. And even if maybe Zest's macro isn't perfect, and you know, he can make some simple mistakes, he's still just so good. It's kind of like in spite of those issues, he's still able to be so good. And that's true of a lot of Korean players, and it's such an interesting thing to see, whereas in Europe it feels like, oh, they're playing the game absolutely correctly, but maybe just don't have the raw ability. Alright, now focusing on this game a little bit, we've got this Hellion coming out. The Adept moved across the map, but got pushed away by the Marines. Where'd that Reaper go? Oh, the Reaper died. Feels terrible. And we have Blink on the way for Zest, a really standard opening for this matchup. Going into a nice quick third base. For Dream, he's going to drop down a couple more racks before he goes into a third CC. Just wants to get some more units out, whether that's for safety or an attack. We will see. Double Widowmine drop coming out. I think that Hellion died as well. Oh no, Hellion went home to get repaired. I love it. Repairing units like Hellions. That's some good stuff. Alright. Drop comes in. There's a lot here. Zest is completely prepared. One of those mines goes down. The other one will go down as well. Eventually. But only gets one probe. The medevac. Pote's gonna lift up the Hellion into the main base. What a nice little play. But a couple of Stalkers get warped in. I don't think this Hellion's gonna get too much done. Gets one more probe. So 2 probes in total going down. So far, a very nice defense from Zest, and his Blink is finished. He has high ground vision. Oh no, there's only like 5 Marines up here. There's no siege tank, there's no Cyclone. There's nothing to stop Stim from dying right now. Alright, decent amount of Marines, and a single Marauder pops out. So far though, Zest just trading beautifully. He's just gonna blink these stalkers out of here after they've traded. Look at that. Resources lost so heavily in Zest's favor. There's nothing on the other side of the map. There's nothing in this bunker. The bunker's being repaired, but the force field, this medevac is at 3 hit points. It can't afford to drop anything. One Marauder gets into the bunker, and that's going to be enough to push these stalkers away for now. Zest in absolute control of this game, kills 5 SCVs. He's up 12 workers. He's up a third base. There's no third CC, not even in the main base. Fortunately for Dream, Stim and Combat Shields will both finish up. They're both getting quite close. Third CC just now going down. I almost don't like this for Dream. I almost feel like 2 more barracks here and going just completely all in might have been better. Observer sees these load ups, is going to be able to catch at least this medevac if Zest is paying attention. Oh, there's the blink. Gets a full medevac of Marines. The Marines get a little bit of chip damage done. That's it. This medevac has a couple Marines. Dream is just going to tap out. Zest is just going to take the game in a brutal PvT. That's the kind of game that we can all sympathize with. And Zest just looking like the much better player there. Damn. Dream just got eviscerated. Absolutely eviscerated. But alright, we're getting into game number 2. Game number 2 on Eternal Empire. We're being joined by some more casters. Looks like the Cranky Ducklings crew is in here, Light VIP and Yakuzaku. As well as a lot of the other casters. The alternate language, the non-English language casters, such as Mage and what is it, Aquarius something around there. I can't think of the name right now. I think he or she casts, you know what, I'm not going to pretend to remember, and it's not on Team Liquid. But a lot of good casters in this series because this is a dope series. And of course Zombie Grub is casting Ragnarok versus Estrella, which is another kick-ass series. But let's get into this one on Eternal Empire. Spawning in the lower left-hand corner in the blue for Brave Star Gaming, it is Dream. And his opponent in the upper right in the red for Raise Your Edge, up 1-0 in the series, Zest. Zest going for that anti-Reaper wall. This is a very big Reaper jump up spot here. Tough to block the whole thing. Every time I try to block the whole thing, I leave an opening, usually right over here. This pylon's blocking it. But I don't think a Cybercore blocks this whole middle area between these two buildings. Maybe it does. Maybe. Who knows? Probe coming to be annoying. SCV moving across the map now. Probe says, haha, now you're gone. I can continue to be an... Oh no, thwarted. Thwarted by the third SCV coming down. It looks like Dream just going for the Reaper expand. I'm a little disappointed not to see Dream's double proxy Rex Marine into Marauder with concussive shell. This probe now 1 hit away will go home. Look at that. That's a full wall up here. The Reaper can still jump up to this spot, but it means a Stalker like on the low ground somewhere like here can actually defend, or even just like right here, can defend pretty well against a Reaper, or I guess an Adept as well. Behind this, Dream dropping the factory. Of course, it was that CC going down, and a reactor going down in the barracks, so it looks like going to be pretty similar to last game for both players. We'll see what Zest's tech of choice is going to be. It's going to be Twilight Council once again, maybe feeling very confident in that build from last game. Pretty aggressive Blink build. That's been good versus Terran for a very long time. The entirety of Legacy of the Void, I want to say. A nice grenade there from Dream to start things off. But gonna need some more units to fight against this Adept. Oh, loading SCVs in though means that not gonna be able to morph that into an orbital. Oh, and the Adept taking a lot of damage right now, might actually go down this game. Gonna get the SCV for it, but gives its life for that SCV. There we go, Blink on the way. Another couple of gateways coming down. Are we gonna see the Robo soon? Not just yet. But we have Widow Mines on the way out. We have the Star Evac? I was gonna say Medevac, but then I read the word Starport and started saying that, and then just kind of stopped speaking, you know? Reaper and Hellion are coming up now. Dream doesn't really want to take that fight. Gets out of there. There's that Robo. Here comes the Medevac. Stalker is holding the Zalaga Watchtower, so this Medevac gonna have to go around the top side, actually gonna head towards the main base instead of towards the natural. Is gonna want to avoid all of this. Where is this Medevac going? Oh, he's gonna run one of the mines in, hoping Zest isn't paying attention. Zest, though, pretty good at this whole paying attention thing. And pulls his probes away accordingly. Only losing 2 probes there. Well, he's messed up his mining, so loses a little more mining time than he needed to. But all things considered, a nice hold from Zest. Take a look at the income graph. It was in Dream's favor while both those mineral lines were pulled. But it should go back into Zest's favor very shortly. And Zest is going to move across the map with a few Stalkers. Only 4 Stalkers this time. Just the 4 Stalker hit squad. These add-ons are extremely exposed. But fortunately for Dream, he's got the Medevac. And he's got a bunch of Marines. He's even got the Marauder this time. And the Medevac's going to keep at least this 1 Marine alive. So only 1 Marine goes down this time. There are units down in this bunker. And with only 4 Stalkers, Zest's not going to get nearly as much done this game. A much nicer hold there for Dream than in game number 1, where basically those Stalkers just straight up killed him. And now Marauders coming out. Those are going to be very nice to have versus the Blink Stalkers of Zest. And we might get to see Dream do his push that he wanted to do last game. We've got +1 on the way. It's going to line up really nicely with Stim and combat shields. Concussive shells should be coming out shortly thereafter. I honestly even like to just queue it up after combat shields so I don't forget it. Concussive shells pretty damn good versus just about anything. First Immortal coming out. It's going to be good versus the Maraudy boys. We've got legs on the way, charge on the way for these Zellies. Says get more gateways up, just getting his macro up so we can defend this push. Stalker sees it coming and blinks to get out of there. 3rd CC going down on location for Dream, feeling very confident that this pressure is going to mean no counterattack for Zest, and it looks like he's absolutely right. Zest is going to need everything that he can have here at this base. Dream rotating around to the natural. Zest is not quite ready here yet. He does have a few Stalkers, but the sentries aren't here. Rock's going to start to go down. Zest doesn't mind letting Dream buy the time here. This only gets better defensively for Zest, as his army supply is growing much quicker than Dream's is at this location. A couple of decent force fields go down, but we see pickups from Dream. There we go, picks up a few of those Marines to bring them behind the force fields. Charge is now finished. So any Zealots warped in will help Zest quite a bit. And Zest just playing very defensively. He's not overcommitting into these fights, dropping the force fields and killing what he can get. And Dream is just going to fall back a little bit here and take his third base. There are a few Widow Mines, so those charge lots do need to be careful. But not a lot of charge lots with this army, really. Widow Mines also tend to do some friendly fire, and that's not going to be great for Dream. He's going to take out a couple of pylons. Again, Zest being very, very patient. Doesn't feel the need to take that fight. He's not taking that fight at all. He's saying, Dream, if you want to fight, you're going to have to fight into my shield batteries, into my concave. You don't want that. But Dream also playing patiently, just picking off units on the outside, and not overcommitting into the army. It can be very easy to say, well, I have a lot of army supply, I'm just gonna go kill him, and then die and lose everything. Dream not doing that though. Both players just pumping out those workers. 63 to 63. Army supply though is now in Zest's favor. 1-1 is gonna finish up for Zest here pretty soon. It's already done for Dream, so they're 2-2. Probably gonna end up pretty similar, with Chrono Boost in the corner here for the Protoss player. But Dream's 2-2 already started up. Should be around the same place. Flair, thank you for the subscription. 7 months of subscribing. I appreciate it, fam. Fam-a-lam. Dream grabbing that fourth base again. CC on location. Pretty evenly timed fourth bases here for these guys, and that's going to be really nice for Dream. Usually the Protoss wants to be a little bit ahead in that regard, but Dream is up on workers right now, already at 68, and he's getting into Ghosts at the same time as Storm is coming out for Zest. I think Dream's shaping up to be in a really good position. Now Storm is interesting here for Zest. We've seen a lot of Protoss players move away from Storm and move into Disruptors, Colossi, etc. But Storm is the plan here for Zest. Oh, and Dream wants to take a bit of an engagement. Zealots getting chewed up by the meat grinder right now. A couple of nice force fields go down. Get a couple of those Marauders. Just kind of trading units for units. A nice scan to take that out. Oh, plenty of units here to defend this other little attack from Dream. Widow Mines get some decent shots off on the Zealots. Dream will just run away with both sets of armies. Here are the Ghosts for Dream. They have that EMP radius upgrade. We've got Vikings coming out to fight Colossi, but there isn't any Colossi out. This is a fake Colossus. Other than that, no Colossus just yet. We have a second Robo, but I don't think there's a Robo Bay, is there? No Robo Bay. Scans go down. Dream starting to take some engagements. Ooh, some really nice storms though. But EMP is blanket this army. The Vikings gonna be able to take out the War Prism, canceling that warp in. So far, Dream absolutely destroying this fight. A couple of nice storms go down though. And a flank from a few units. A few more storms available here. Not anymore. Actually, there wasn't enough energy on those High Templar. Anyways, they'll morph into an Archon. Zealots charging up. Dream now stutter stepping, grouping with the rest of his army. Dream taking a fantastic engagement, actually is way up in army supply, way up in economy as well. 66 to 75 workers. It looks like 2-2 was a little late to that fight for Zest, but both players upgrading 3-3 now. And Dream is keeping the pressure on, rallying units across. He's going to drop another EMP just on some Stalkers this time. He really wants to hit those juicy Zealots and particularly the Archons. Not a lot of storm here though, and by not a lot I mean zero. Absolutely zero storm. Alright, here come the Archons and the Zealots, but is there just too much here for our Terran player? It kind of feels like it. EMP is going down. No storms available. And there's just too much bio. These Stalkers are buying as much time as possible. But even the Vikings are going to land, and Zest is just going to have to tap out as Dream takes the fight. Damn Dream. And that, my friends, is why we don't see Storm as the only splash damage anymore. I'm really, really surprised Zest decided not to go into Colossi and Disruptors. I will say Storm isn't bad to have. But EMP has become so strong and so common for Terrans. And one of the things Dream has kind of been known for, actually, is his pretty early, relative to other players, early Ghost production and constant EMP spamming. He tends to just make a bunch of Ghosts and spam EMP over the entire Protoss army if he has a chance to. And that makes High Templar really not great. Also makes Archons really not great. But yeah, we'll see if Zest decides to play a little differently this game. Either more aggression early on, end the game early once again, just like game one, or if he wants to go into the robo units instead, get that splash damage from a different source. Disruptors pretty good, man. Let's get our score right, and let's hop into game number 3 on Simulacrum, spawning in the upper left hand corner in the blue for Brave Star Gaming. It is Dream, and his opponent in the lower right, in the pink. Raise your edges, boys and girls. It is Zest. Score is 1-1. It's all tied up. I do think Zest can bring something better to the game, though. It really felt like he limited himself so hard by not going into the Robo Bay, not getting any Colossi out, which just allowed the few Vikings that Dream did make to take out the Warp Prism and then to land and just fight the rest of the army. But even if Dream had Vikings against Colossi, those Colossi still would be able to get a few swipes off. They buy more time for the Vikings, which are just kind of shooting air units, or shooting the Colossi instead of fighting the Stalkers and Zealots, etc. And Disruptors, of course. EMP, not all that great versus Disruptors. So I really favor that playstyle, and it seems to be working out really nicely for Protoss. So I'm a little bit unsure why Zest decided not to go into that. But it was clearly not the best decision, because Dream showed us why High Templar have fallen out of favor with Protoss. If you wonder, if you ever watch a PvT and you go, man, why aren't these Protoss making Storm? I hope that game answered it for you. Zest, though, this game, he says, no, we're not going to be doing any of that. He's proxying a Stargate. This is pretty rare versus Terran these days. Back when Legacy of the Void first started, Proxy Oracle was like the build. I kind of hated it, to be honest with you. It was awful. You basically had to open with like a Cyclone or a Mine Drop, so that you could get those Widow Mines in the mineral lines. Man, look at Dream's Reaper getting a probe kill. That micro, that's some nice micro. But yeah, Proxy Oracle has really fallen out of favor in PvT. And now this Reaper is actually very close to scouting this Stargate. It's going to scout around here, but is it going to scout this high ground? It seems a little bit less likely to me. It is not. Oh, the turn back. Nope. Look at that. Goes right around this area. Not going to get a scout on this Oracle. And what do we have back at home? There is one Widow Mine out. Okay, it's not in a great spot to stop this. Oh, but this SCV is dropping a supply depot, and that's going to be the first thing to scout this Oracle. Let's see if Dream is paying attention. Oh, is he waiting for 2 Oracles? No, he doesn't even have a second one in production. Maybe, you know what he's waiting for? He's waiting for the mine drop to go out so that there's no anti-air here. There are some Marines out. There's enough Marines to fight this Oracle, but they're way far away from this mineral line. So we should see a few SCVs go down here. One Zest decides to move in. There's the Widow mine drop moving out. Nothing in the mineral line to defend. And the Oracle will get 1, 2, 3 quick SCV kills. Not too bad. All things considered, not too bad. And here comes the mine drop. One mine going to be walking down and will die for its efforts. This one going to try to find a good position. Zest, very ready for the pulls. Kills 2 of those mines without them getting any damage done. Only 1 probe being lost. Some lost mining time for sure, but Zest already doing more work with this Oracle than Dream did with 3 Widow mines, and none of those Widow mines get out of there. That's the biggest thing. A lot of times in these TVP situations, you'll see 3 Widow mines drop down, they'll get a few probes, and then 1 or 2 of them at least get away. Not the case. Dream has just been cleaning these Widow mine drops up like it's nothing. Loses 1 probe, kills all 3 Widow mines. That's a great feeling for a Protoss player. And let's see what Dream's plan is behind this. It looks like it's going to be the same as what we've seen lately. He's got Stim on the way, he's got combat shields on the way, and I have a feeling he's going to be starting up his +1 attack. There it goes. So planning on doing a similar kind of push to last game. Zest in the meantime has gotten Blink. He's got a Forge on the way up. No Robo just yet, but he does have a 3rd base almost finished already. Blink is here for Zest. He's going to blink up into the main base. There's a Viking up here. The Viking's going to get targeted down, so it will not be able to get that Oracle. There's not enough here to fight. Where are the rest of Dream's units? They're down on the low ground. Okay, there's a few up towards the top. That'll be enough for sure to push Zest out of here, but Zest trading very nicely once again. Oh, and in the meantime, 3 Adepts get into the mineral line. They're going to target down only 2 SCVs, but being very, very annoying here, trading out with a couple of Marines as well. Oh, and the Stalker's going to get on top of the bunker. There's nothing in the bunker, so they're going to get on top of the units instead. Loses a Stalker, so not the best blinking there. Zest with a single missed blink. How dare he? But Dream's moving out. His Stim is about to finish. His +1 is about to finish. This lift up into the main, I'm not sure if he needed to do that. Dream playing nice and defensively here. And now he's lifted up. He's going to head out, meet up with the rest of his army. He's up quite a bit of army supply right now, 50 to 37. And his Stim +1 finishes up. And these medevacs join up. He's going to be able to take out the Stargate. That's going to buy a lot more time here for Zest. Does he have charge? He does have charge. These Zealots going to be quite good. +1 armor finishing because Dream took the time to kill that Stargate. +1 armor is completely finished. So the upgrades end up being kind of a wash. These Stalkers get 1 more Marine, evening out the army supply just that much more. Killing these rocks is actually really good for the charge lots, I think. Not as good for the sentries though, but still some nice force fields. Widow mines going off on 1 Zealot apiece. Still, is there enough army here for Zest to hold on? The army supply is very similar, and he's got some shield batteries finishing up, and a ton of charge lots charging in. There's a few in the back as well. A lot of nice Widow mine connections, but I think Dream's gonna have to pull back and go home. He's got a 3rd base finishing up right now. He is down 10 workers though. He's gonna have a lot of work to do to catch up in that regard. So we've got Chrono available for Zest.
Game paused.
Uh-oh. Maybe a little bit of lag. Maybe Dream's getting a, food delivery. Who knows? Who knows?
Game
All right, there we
resumed.
go. We got the 3, 2, 1. Dream with the countdown. Very well mannered. Zest is going full gateways this game. In fact, his robo is just now starting. Full gateway units here for Zest. This is a style that also fell out of favor a little bit when the Zealot was nerfed. The Zealot's charge doesn't do a ton of damage on impact anymore, but these Zealots are doing a nice little run by. This Marine is going to scout it though, which means Dream could be in position for this. Zest knows that and pulls away. What smart play. You know, it becomes so clear how good these players are when you see moves like that. First of all, this Zealot run by is good. Scouting it with Marine is great. And then Zest pulling back, I think, is the best play. It can be so difficult to pull back from an attack like that, where you say, I can still get damage done. It can be so easy to just let those Zealots finish their rally, but nope. Zest too smart for that. He's going to pull back. Blink Stalker's still getting work done 10 minutes into a game. Look at that. He gets 2 Marines and a Widow Mine and blinks out of there. It's such a dangerous move, but because he still has that Oracle around tagging things, he's got an eye on this 4th base. Oh man, forces out a little bit of a stim too. This 4th base getting temporarily denied by the Zealot. And just moving out all over the place. We have Storm once again, the choice for Zest. There's a lot of ghosts here though. Getting some nice EMPs all over this army. This army is completely shieldless right now. But these Zealots getting fantastic surface area. Oh my god, look at that Storm. A beautiful Storm. It's hard to even tell what's going on right now. But I will tell you, it looks like Dream just got completely swarmed with charge lots. And despite the excellent EMPs, his army was a little too split up. There was a little bit too much surface area. And Zest takes a pretty great fight there. We'll say the end actually went decently for Dream because pretty similar supplies there until Zest does another warp in and just shoots up an army supply. Zest is also now on 4 bases. The worker count's pretty similar, but 3 base to 4, and Dream again building CCs on location. Makes it easier for Zest to get those cancels. Zest now rotating down a little bit, pulling back. Just gonna maybe try to do a double Archon drop into the main base. This Marine once again, nice scouting here from Dream, but he's just gonna see that War Prism. I don't think Dream, maybe he did see it. Okay, yeah, he did. Nice play from Dream. Oh, but Zest is hitting in like 3 places at once. He's gonna force a cancel on this 4th base once again. Looks like this Warp Prism will go down. The Archon's not gonna get too much done, but then Charge Lots into the 3rd. Gets 6 SCVs. Cancel the 4th base though, that is the biggest deal here. And Dream is now in a ton of trouble. His economy is just not there. It's not like it was last game, where Dream was actually up on economy at this point in the game. No, it is Zest up on economy. 2-2 is on the way for Dream. I have a feeling once that hits, he is gonna go for a big attack. It looks like he's actually already on the way. Observer sees these units moving across the map. Zest is ready for this. He's waiting for Dream to move to a disadvantageous position, so Zest can move in and squash him with his army. Zest is up in army supply. His upgrades, he's going to be down on upgrades once 2-2 finishes, but only 1 upgrade. Oh, some nice storms as those High Templar drop out of the War Prism. Or maybe not even drop out of the War Prism. Zest just taking a great engagement there. He's up a ton of supply right now. He's 70 supply up. These charge lots just too much for Dream to handle. There's no planetary here. And Dream is going to have to tap out. Zest is going to take game number 3 and move on to the semifinals over Dream.